வணக்கம், வெல்கம் டு கோவை பாலு டிவி. I am your balakrishnanperumal. Poniyinselvan stars. It is not actors, non-acting this film, but he tried many times. So you don't skip, continue watch it, you understand it. Now in 1958, M.G. Ramachandran announced Poniyinselvan, a film adaptation of Kalli Krishnamurthy's historical novel of the same name. Ramachandran bought the film rights to the novel for 10,000, equivalent to 10,000 or USS 11,000 in 2020, and would protect, direct and star in the adaptation, which would feature an ensemble cast including Vijay Sai, Vaijayanthi Mala, Gemini Ganesan, Batmini, Savitri, B. Saroja Devi, M.N. Rajam, T.S. Balaya, M.N. Nambiar, O.A.K. Devar and V. Nagaya. Before shooting could begin, Ramachandra met an assistant and the wood to 6 months to heal. Ramachandran was unable to continue with the film even after renewing the rights for years later. In a January 1994 interview with Filmfare, Manirathinam states that adapting the novel was one of his dream projects, that he had hoped to work on during his career. Rathinam revealed that he worked on a first draft of the film alongside actor-director Kamal, who had brought the rights of the novel, but the pair shelved their plan as the project did not make financial sense at that time. In late 2010, Rathinam renewed his interest in the project and worked alongside writer Jayam Mohan to finalize the script for the adaptation of Poniyinselvan, expected to be made in the Tamil and a cost of 100 crores. Rathinam planned to produce the film himself entitled, with the intention of demanding of a bigger production house later on the film-making process. Technicians including composer A.R. Rahman, cinematography Santosh Sivan, editor A. Srihar Prasad, and art director Shabu Sharil were soon after attached to the project. Rathinam cast Vijay in the leading role of Vanjiya Devan. After shining the film, Vijay called it a privilege and a dream come true to be working with Rathinam for the second time after Nerukku Ner 1997. Mahesh Babu was cast as Arunmozhi Varman, who later became the Chola Emperor Rajarajan in the project, and also expressed his delight at being selected by Rathinam. Arya also joined the project to play a third leading male role after the script of narrated to him. Meanwhile, Satyaraj was signed to play a supporting role in the film. During the course of the casting process, Ratnam had also considered other actors including Vikram, Surya and Vishal, but they eventually did not make the final cast. For the leading female role, after considering Jyotika, the team financed Anushka Shetty for a role and held discussions with Priyanka Chopra in regard to other characters. 7 days before the scheduled start of the shoot, a photo shoot for the film was held in Chennai, featuring Vijay and Mahesh Babu. For the shoot, the team site processing for the official of Mysore Palace and Lalita Mahal to film sequence. However, the requests were denied with the place official being to keep film grove away from the historic location. The film was later solved before the start of the film stage. As the expected cost of production escalated, Jayam Mohan started the film did not materialize as the team struggled to find available location to shoot the film. He related that temple official in Tamil Nadu refused at allow the team to finance it on promise and that the expensive cost of production replication meant that it would not be a valuable solution. Developed in January 2019, Ratnam decided to review Poniyinselvan after Laika production, who earlier collaborated with him in Chola Chekka Chivanda Vanam 2018, agreed to found the film. Will Vikram, Vijay Sethupathi and Jayam Ravi decided to play two leading roles along a Silambaresan in a circle role. Amitabh Bachchan and Aishwarya Rai Bachchan too assigned the product. The former playing the role of Sundrachalan in the film. Composer A.R. Rahman, screenwriter Jayam Mohan and editor Sridhar Prasad were retained in the new version in April 2019. A major change in the film cast took place with Sethupathi opting out of the project due to their scheduled conflicts, thus being replaced by Karthi, and Anushka Shetty was included in the film cast, working with Ratnam for the first time. Aishwarya Rai later himself confirmed her inclusion in the project at the Cannes Film Festival. Anushka Shetty, who has been proud for the film Old Vision, officially signed the project actor Amala Paul to confirm being a part of the film. Vikram, who is one of the principal characters in the film, too confirmed his part. Veteran actor R. Parthipan and Jairam were also reporting to join the film cast. In June 2019, Ilango Kumaravel announced that he will co-write the screenplay for the vision with Rathnam and Jayamohan. Rathnam decided to retaining cinematography Santosh Sivan for this project. However, his unavailability made the director to sing on Ravi Verma. Varman was working for Indian to direct by S. Sankar before singing the film product, but the latter delay made Varman to quit the film, making him available from Poniyinselvan. In September 2019, Rathinam confirmed that he will be working with the composer on the lyrics doing him and Vairam Muthu, who were a part for written frequent collaborations since Roja 1992. However, in received hung displeasure for Nitation as the latter was accused of sexual misconduct and harassment by several women singers and artists from the Tamil film industry. This also resulted in Anushka Shetty opting out of the project. Art director Tota Dharani singed the new version of the project. Thus replaced Sub Cyril, who worked in the old version. Customs dictionary Ika Yagalagani traveled to Tanjavur temple and study acupuncture, meet waves and understand the heritage before starting with process of designing. Rathinam announced that the film shoot will be placed across Tamil Nadu and Thailand, and as per advice, several actors from the film, including Vikram, Jayam, Ravi, Karthi, grow their hair long for their roles in the film. In October 2019, Aishwarya Kakumono announced his inclusion in the project. Actor Lal shared a picture of him along with Ratna, raising expectations about the film. He further confirmed his inclusion, thought that he will play the role of an aged warrior in the film. Prior of the film shoot, Rathinam went to location Waves across Thailand, and a few reports state on choosing Thailand as the premier spot, since it is rich forests and temples that resemble in 10th century feeling which the story is set. Another major changing in the film cast happened, with Amala Paul and Kirti Suresh opting out of the film. Will a former state called seat issues as the reason. The letter cited that she was grouped in a Annathe, However, a few additions in the film cast took place. The Trisha, Aishwarya Rai and Vikram Prabhu were reportedly seen in the film. The story thread of Poniyinselvan spends years and more than 50 characters, with 50 principal roles. In the older version of Rathinam film adaptation showed Vijay playing Vanjiyadevan, one of the two protagonists, and Mahesh Babu and playing another one protagonist role of Arunmozhi Verma, alias Raja, alias Poniyinselvan, after whom the novel is named after the project was reviewed. Their roles went to Karthik and Jayam Ravi respectively. It was later restored in the Aishwarya Rai Bachchan will play doing roles in the film as Nandini, the main antagonist of the novel, and her mother Queen Mandahini Devi for his role as Aishwarya Alvar Nambi. Jayam was a supporting and bland look in the film. Trisha would easy the role of Undavi alias Ilaya Piratia. For the role of Pungulali, Aishwarya Lakshmi learned role as the character. Pungulali is a boat woman in the novel. First shooting began unexpected due to the lockdown. Trisha trained in horse riding at the Metal School of Equitation, where she was enrolled for a special course of the 26 October 2020 and completed within 14 November 2020. Both Jayam Ravi and Karthik confirmed their characters playing in the film. Poniyinselvan begins as a start-alone film with a budget of 500 crores. Later it is planned into two parts for where to be shot back to back, with some sources reporting that budget of 500 crores in support across two parts. Principal photography begins on 11 December 2019 in Krabi, Kanchanaburi and other places in Thailand, where the crew blended in shooting scheduled for 40 days. After complete with first schedule in January 2020, the team planned to shoot the second schedule in Chennai, but later moved to Pondicherry. The second schedule of shooting took place on 3 February 2020 in Pondicherry and completed within 6 days. Then that team moved to Hyderabad for a next schedule on 10th February, where the entry team planned to shoot in Ramojo Film City. The second schedule was wrapped up on 26 February 2020. It was reporting that Karthi faced an accident while he was shooted in Hyderabad, where he was thrown up in the air while riding a horse. However, he faced only minor injury. As of March 2020, the making shoot the major production of this film for 90 days before shooting began in reaction to the COVID-19 pandemic. In January 2020, it was reporting that the film would be split into two parts, which was confirmed to Manirathinam in April 2020. In September 2020, Rathinam evidently planned resume the shooting at Sri Lanka to do a restriction and international travel. It was difficult for the team of get promise from the decals to resume filming. There be decided a shooting major protection of the film in India. Rathinam wanted to shoot at major protection in Hyderabad, Jaisalmer, Jaipur, Madhya Pradesh and many permanent locations across India. Although the team eventually planned for film in mid-November, he decided against doing so, lamenting that despite government allowed permissions for film shooting, it was advised that the film shooting must have minimal crew members with at more than 75 people work on the film. Manirathinam states that since 500 people will be featured in the film shoot, it is difficult for shooting in mid-2020. On 10 November 2020, a minor scheduled for the film took place at Pollachi, featuring the lead actor. The team states that the major schedule of the film will take place in January 2021 and was to be a biggest schedule, which will be wrapped up within a single stretch. Vikram was reporting to be present in the schedule after complete the shoot for Cobra. After a 9-month-long hiatus, the shooting for the film resumed on 6 January 2021 at Ramoji Film City, Hyderabad. The major schedule features attention of Sarath Kumar, Aishwarya Rai Bachchan, Trisha, Rahman, Prakash Raj, Parthipan and Mohan Ram. On 3 February 2021, to make shoot for a special number feather Texas and 250 other artists at a hung set construction of Ramoji Film City. The art direction team surveyed by Tota Dharini and had construction 5 hung seats in the shooting location. According to the expected production, Shiva Anand, a leading cast member, began shooting the partition in Hyderabad, including Vikram, who earlier shooting the production in January and was reporting to join the set scene between a brief breaks during the schedule. After filming for a schedule ending in March, the next schedule was to start in May 23 April. It was delayed to June due to a peak in COVID-19 cases planned to shoot in North Indian states. During that time was changed in instant shoot in Chennai and Hyderabad. In January 2021, it was announced that shooting would only resume once there were COVID-19 cases. Film Resumed in January 2021 at Pondicherry in August. The team went a Madhya Pradesh for location coating so that they can suit the bending protection, and later resumed the shooting in Agra and Gwalior. Within late August 2021, Jayam Ravi and Vikram get a complaint is protection for both the party in the flame. The team later moved to Mageswara for another schedule which majority focus on Karthik and Trisha on 4 September 2021. Rahman confirmed that he completed his portion. The team had been shooting in Pollachi for a song frequency in the Pollachi in the Mysore and shoot one frequency. It's reported that Karthik joined shooting in Pollachi and Ashwin Kakamanu joined shooting in Mysore. Karthik finished shooting from his option on 60 September 2020. On 80 September, Manirathinam confirmed the entry. Shooting of the first part has been worked expert for few frequency in the second part. However, on March 2022, Jaya Ravi, Karthik and Aishwarya Rai Bachchan were put up a small patchwork life which was full completed in 7 days. நன்றி வணக்கம். இது வரைக்கும் நீங்கள் அமைதியாக கேட்டதுக்கு நன்றி. இன்னும் பாருங்கள். போஸ்ட் ப்ரொடெக்ஷன். The tapping from the film started on 27 September 2021. Trisha and Aishwarya Lakshmi leading their own voice for the roles. Kundavi Punguli responsible for the film original Tamil version. Vikram was tapped for himself for 5 languages for the film named Tamil, Hindi, Telugu, Malayalam and Kannada. நன்றி. இது போல வீடியோக்களுக்கான கோவை பாலு டிவியை சப்ஸ்கிரைப் பண்ணுங்கள், லைக் பண்ணுங்கள், ஷேர் பண்ணுங்கள். நன்றி. முற்றிலும் ஒரு பொழுதுபோக்கு சேனல் இது கோவை பாலு டிவி. இது ஒரு யூடியூப் சேனல். இந்த சேனலை சப்ஸ்கிரைப் பண்ணுங்கள், லைக் பண்ணுங்கள், ஷேர் பண்ணுங்கள்.